Told you.
I inhaled.
You were like, milk is better than water, and I'm like, nope.
This is actually much better with milk.
Hi everyone.
You want to try it?
Welcome to. I'm not. We have different ones. We don't have the same one.
I know.
Welcome to Wednesday.
Spoon's gonna hit you. The other day, I was on Target's website looking for a couple things we needed.
I mean, yeah, it's smooth.
And they had cinnamon hot cocoa. So I ordered some other things I needed in the cinnamon hot cocoa.
So now we have so much hot cocoa in this house. Like, we have so much hot cocoa in this house.
You have no idea.
You cannot fathom the amount, sure, but then in different containers from different companies, different styles that I don't even know that we have purchased. It's either like folks send it in mail, which we appreciate and we will drink it, or my mom brings it over or gives it to us for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And then we hold on to it. So yeah. It doesn't go bad.
Maybe.
Probably not. So we've been drinking a lot of hot chocolate. Anyway, that is not what this vlog is about at all. We have the camera on a tripod again, which is weird. I know that feels weird, but it helps separate it, I think, a little bit from how we normally do things, because I'm normally walking around with one of these, so it's wiggling all over the place. And the fact that it's on, a tripod or a GorillaPod makes it feel like, oh, this is different, because this is a topic vlog. I just talked about how we were going to be doing this. I have a list of a lot of stuff that you guys have been asking us to talk about and elaborate on and things like that. So this is just kind of like one of many, because I have a big old list. And like I said before, if you have something that you'd like to hear us discuss a little bit further, let us know. And it doesn't matter like what specific video you let us know. Just put it in the comments and I'll include it onto the list. And then maybe at some point you'll see us talk about it. Because today was mostly a work day.
Yeah.
We did open mail, and we got more hot chocolate. But because of that, we figured today would be a good day for this. So I've got one here that I thought would be good. This is from Josh Wood. He says, marriage during quarantine. How is your relationship altered, if at all? And that was a pretty good question. I think it's a good question. It's probably not a great question for us, but I figured we would answer it anyway. Because for a lot of couples, I think that this may have been a very, not necessarily like a difficult year for their relationship, but like a different year for their relationship. Because, obviously 2020 was a roller coaster, and I guess it's not over yet, so it continues to be. But there was a sizable part of the population that ended up working from home suddenly. And if very suddenly you are at home and you're spending time with your spouse nonstop, there could be an adjustment period for that. That being said, we already work from home together and have for many years. Mal has been home since mid-2016, because that was whenever she stopped teaching. So we've kind of gotten used to this thing. And even before, even like when you were teaching, like we had the entire summer together. Yeah. Because you didn't work in the summers. And, honestly, we just kind of like missed each other in the day anyway. Yeah. That being said, even for us, 2020 has been different. It's from a relationship standpoint, the change is not as it's not as drastic for us because we already spend basically every waking moment together, and it's fine by me. Yeah. But I think that like the real change is just that 2020 has been emotionally draining. Mm-hmm. And there's been more relying on each other.
That was what I was going to say when you told me that was going to be the question.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I feel like this year has really made us learn to rely on each other for help when we realize that we're not having a great day. Like, if I'm not feeling great, or mentally or physically, I might be like, can you make dinner? And Steven was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And recognizing that, I think. Yeah.
There's more reliance on each other this year than ever before.
Yeah.
And that's, that's, for us, that's not a quarantine thing. That's just the emotional impact of the year thing. I think to some extent a lot of other people can relate to that, because in your day-to-day life you normally would like be out and about and you'd be interacting with other people, and like there's more people to spread your like emotional burdens. Like, even if it's just a little bit here and there, even if it's not a burden, even if it's just like talking to people, it's part of you that you're like getting off of your chest, even if it's about something that's not necessarily bothering you.
Water cooler talk, like weather.
Exactly. So that stops, and like it's not completely gone because there's still video chat and stuff like that, and it's good to catch up with friends, and we do that every week because we think it's super important. But it's still not quite the same.
No.
Like one of the big things for us back in the before times was doing Lunch Bunch. And, a lot of times Lunch Bunch would go on for hours. And it was just because it was nice to talk to other people. It was nice to get that out. And, with that being gone, there is, there's more that we need from each other, mm-hmm. I think.
Yes.
Not only like the obvious stuff that we would need from each other, but even like little tiny things. That combined with the fact that 2020 has been a rolling dumpster fire of a year, with like every month going, God, now what? There's I think the big takeaway for like marriage during quarantine would just be there's been an emphasis on being there for each other in a way that wasn't there. It's not that it wasn't there before, but that neither of us needed to that extent. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot more hugs, and we already are very much a hugging household, like so many hugs here, but like even more than before. And, there's been a lot of times where it's just like we have to talk about what's going on in our lives. And sometimes that's just the news. It's just like, it's whoever gets to the other person first, like looking at your phone like, Christ, did you see this? And, just discussing that together and being able to get it off of our chest to each other. That's mostly what the year has been. I feel like, I feel fortunate for many reasons. For one, that we've already worked from home, because that helps make everything obviously easier for us. And then from the perspective that we've worked at home together, so we didn't have any sort of adjustment period. I feel like this year would have been much more difficult for those who have to deal with the roller coaster of 2020, adapting to relying on their spouse even more, and then also adjusting to the fact that they're around their spouse all the time.
Yeah.
And fortunately, we haven't had to do that.
Yeah.
But I would say, not that I ever felt like our relationship was bad, but I would say that 2020, for all of the terribleness that it has caused, has actually probably made our relationship better.
Stronger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mal and I have a history of we always talk about everything all the time anyway, but, there is so much more emotions wrapped up in the things that we're discussing this year. And it has been a roller coaster of a year, that I'd say that, being in quarantine and having to go through that sort of thing together has made us a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, I'm very ready to be done with the whole thing. Again, I feel fortunate that we, can just be at home. And I know there's a lot of folks that are not that fortunate, that they do have jobs out and about. I am grateful that science has been kicking butt, and that will, that 2021 will only be marginally bad in comparison. Because I love you, but I am looking forward to like leaving the house.
I mean, I am too. Are you leaving the house with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, we're still gonna be doing things together. Yeah. So I'm really curious, and I like I said at the beginning, like I feel like our answer might be a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Because we have been together, we've been together in the same house for years already. I'm super curious how some of you have handled this with your significant others. If your job moved you to working at home, and so did your significant other, and then all of a sudden you're coexisting in the same space for long periods of time. I know because I've talked to some folks, and it has been difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how you've adapted, and some of the interesting individual struggles that you've had, but then also things maybe you've learned.
Sharing a space, or like if your workspaces are close together or something.
Yeah. And we're pretty similar when it comes to that. Like fortunately we now have separate workspaces, but even in the old house when we
I'm
were in the
glad they're
same room,
separate now.
I mean, I am too. There's a lot of reasons that things are benefited, but I felt like we, even when we had to share a space, I felt like we have relatively similar levels of like organization versus disorganization. Like I think that for the most part we can withstand this about the same amount of clutter.
I was thinking more so like sound. Because I don't miss having to wear headphones working.
Oh,
when you're
yeah.
also like in the same room working.
I don't miss that for you because I don't like using headphones.
Yeah.
So I don't like you having to use headphones. Everybody wins. Anyway, tell us about how you have handled the entirety of 2020, whether you've been at home with a significant other, or just even if your job hasn't moved home, how the year has affected your relationship, dealing with the emotional roller coaster that it's been. I'm curious to hear about that. Otherwise, I hope that you enjoyed this little deviation from what we typically do. Like I said, it's not going to be every single day because I have so much important cat footage and breakfast footage to show you, and it's very important I show you that. But like I said, I'm keeping a list now of just all the stuff that you guys have been asking, and I'll be working on that. So I hope that you enjoyed this and look forward to more. And if you have more ideas, leave them in the comments. That's it for today. Gotta finish this and then go to bed. Also, having drank this again after yours, it's really not that different.
Disagree.
We did a whole video on this a few years
know.
ago, and I still...
I had the same last night with water, and it was not as good.
It's so close.
Disagree.
I'm not going to get into this. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?